Today's video concludes our discussion of Christopher Nolan's Time trilogy. In my last two videos, I covered Inception and Interstellar, but in this video, we're covering Christopher Nolan's time-bending spy thriller, Tenet, released in 2020. Tenet is without question Nolan's most complicated film to date. This spy thriller may have all the tropes, but the inclusion of time inversion makes the film anything but boring. Tenet is, I think, a very clear completion, if you will, of the concepts and topics that we were introduced to with Inception and Interstellar. The actual plot of the movie is quite simple and familiar. A spy organization trying to stop a Russian from starting another world war. We've seen this many times before, but again, just like with Dunkirk, the filmmakers take what we know and subvert it, in this case, literally. Among the characters are some that deserve attention, beginning with the lead. The protagonist, as he is called, fits the film as a likable hero to root for. However, despite actor John David Washington being great for most of the film, I still think there were some parts of his character that he just didn't quite fit.
I ordered my hot sauce an hour ago.
The antagonist, Andre Sator, is wonderfully portrayed by actor Kenneth Branaugh, delivering one of, if not the best performances of the film. But I think my favorite character was Neil, played by Robert Pattinson. Now, this was the first film I had ever seen Pattinson in ever, so in 2022 when I went to see The Batman, I had his great performance in this film in my head, and not an edgy vampire. This helped a lot, as you can imagine. Pattinson delivers a grounded, serious, yet fun performance as our protagonist's partner / to-be best friend. Spy movies over the years have been famous for their action scenes and set pieces, whether it's Mission Impossible or James Bond. Tenet is no exception. The movie is full of unique action scenes. The bungee jump up and into the penthouse in India, crashing a Boeing 747 into the side of a building, the road chase with inverted vehicles, every fight scene with inverted characters. We could go on and on. The unfortunate reality of Tenet, though, is that it didn't, and I don't think has, receive the praise and recognition that it deserves. The film was released during COVID, and this caused the film to not make as much money as it could and should have. I think it's ironic how a movie about time was, you guessed it, released at a bad time. Tenet is a film that I believe will have a better reputation as time goes on. This might be the closest Christopher Nolan will ever get to directing a James Bond movie, but this film is perhaps a love letter to that genre of films. Building on what his previous films about time started, Nolan and his team created a complex film within a familiar story setting and genre. I hope I've encouraged you to appreciate Tenet just a bit more. As for me, I will give Nolan's spy thriller an 8.5 out of 10. Hello everyone, this is Movies with Michael, and if you enjoyed that movie review, you can show it by leaving a like on this video, commenting down below what you thought about the movie, whether you loved it, whether you hated it, or was it right there in between, and consider clicking that subscribe button and turning on notifications to get notified about my latest videos.